What's up, family? Man, I'm gonna give you guys a minute before we get started. I apologize for the camera and just running behind. He's running a little late, so give you guys a minute. And I realized that I didn't even have it set up for 6:30. Man, it is what it is, you know what I mean? So I know a lot of you are not gonna get this, you know what I mean? Because for whatever reason, it's set the live to go off at 12 a.m. Give you guys a minute to get in here before we get started. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough. And before we can get started, man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stage of your life. What's up, family? Let me grab some stuff real quick. Said I'm not even ready. And again, I apologize for that. Man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Um, man, we're gonna get started, family, and this is gonna be rough. This is going to be rough, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Um, a little discombobulated, man. That being said, what's up with you, Jose? Man, we're talking about this book right here, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Phenomenal book. If you have not heard of this book, if you have not read this book, man, this is a must for everybody. For everybody, this is a must. You have to get this book, whether you buy it or whether you go to the library. I don't care how you get your hands on this book. You have to get this book. This book is 33 pages. So there's no excuse of why we don't read it. You know what I mean? And man, you see all throughout the book, I got it like highlighted and just everything. You know what I mean? Again, this is a phenomenal book. As a Man Thinketh. And it's a trip because this book was written 122 years ago. He wrote this book back in '03 is when he wrote this book. And when you read this book, it's as though somebody just wrote it last month. Everything that he's talking about is pertinent to us right now. You know what I mean? Everything he talks about is what we're dealing with, what we're struggling with, what we need to work on, what we need to deal with. It's all in this book right here. 33 pages. There's no excuse as to why you can't get this book. Again, this book was written 103 years ago. And it's a trip because I know that he didn't think that we would be reading this book 100 years later. 122 years later, everything he's saying is true. Everything he's saying 122 years ago, it's still relevant to today. As a man thinking. It's a trip because so many of us, we don't understand the power of our thoughts. We want to talk about manifesting, we want to talk about all this other stuff, but we don't really understand the power of our thoughts. And so many of us who grew up in toxic environments, who grew up thinking that, what's up with you, Watch Dogs? Who grew up thinking that, man, we wasn't nobody, we were powerless, we were helpless, we were voiceless, and all this other crazy toxic stuff that we were led to believe. Man, he talks about this. He talked about this stuff 100 years ago. We can't even imagine what America was like 100 years ago. You know what I mean? Back in, what was it, 1903? We can't imagine what life was like. The trip is, God help me. I've read this book years ago, decades ago, but I wasn't emotionally capable of grasping the concepts and the things that he talked about. Now that I look at my platform and all the stuff that we talk about, all the stuff that I talk about in this platform, you could get in this book. You know what I mean? You could get in this book. You have the power to change your life. And whether you believe it or not, you dictate how your life is. You control how your life is. You have that power. You don't believe it because we think, okay, we just cursed, or some people are just blessed, some people are just lucky, some people are favored by God, and they got da 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 da, and all this other crazy stuff. The reality is, You have the power to dictate how your life is going to be. You don't just have the power to dictate how your life is going to be, you dictate how your life turns out. Every single one of us dictates how our life is going to turn out. It don't matter how it starts out. What's up with you, Jack? Zach, I'm sorry. It don't matter what you've gone through in your childhood. It doesn't matter what your mama was like. It doesn't matter what your daddy was like. It don't matter the abuse, verbal and sexual abuse you've gone through, the violence you've gone through. None of that shit matters. What matters is you have the power to change your life. You. We don't think that. We don't understand that. Going back to manifestation. Every single one of us are manifesting every single day of our life. And we have been manifesting our entire life. We just didn't know it. We didn't know it because we didn't think we had that type of power. Because we live in America, we live in these countries where the government, quote unquote, dictates everything and all this other stuff. The rich get rich and the poor get poor, and the powerful get more powerful, and all this other crazy shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I mean? That ain't got shit to do with your life at all. Your life is not the way it is because other people. Your life is not the way it is because your daddy, because your mama, because of the government, because of the Democrats, because of the Republicans, because this new generation, because of communism, because of white people, because of black people, because of Hispanics. Your life is not the way it is because of them at all. Your life is not the way it is because some woman dogged you off. Your life is not the way it is because some dude ran through you and just dogged you off. Your life is the way that it is, good or bad, because of the choices you've made. See, we don't want to accept that responsibility. We don't want to accept that accountability because we'd much rather be a victim. We would much rather walk around feeling helpless and powerless as to how we live and why we live the way we live. Real shit. Real shit. And I didn't understand that growing up. Again, I shared my story. Man, I had victim mentality to the umpteenth degree. I was powerless to change anything that I went through. And the reality what God had to show me was Elijah. You couldn't, what's up with you, Phil? You couldn't control the stuff that you went through as a kid, but you had the power to change your perspective about what you went through. Because your perspective about what you went through was so damaging, the belief and the thought process that you held to in regards to all the toxic, crazy shit you've endured. That's what's fucked up your life. Has nothing to do with your daddy killing your mama in front of you. Had nothing to do with you being molested as a 6-year-old kid twice. Had nothing to do with your family beating you down and programming you into that religious bullshit and having you thinking you're going straight to hell. Your life is the way it is because the choices you've made in the conversation. We can end the video right here. But we don't want to acknowledge that because then we have to sit back and say, well, damn, I'm broke, I'm frustrated, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm racist, I'm homophobic. I have all these different beliefs and opinions, and it's nobody else's fault but mine. I don't like myself. I don't value myself, and it ain't got shit to do with other people. That all falls on me. It falls on me. The trick, God blew me away with this a while back. Again, I'm not a Christian at all, but there's a passage in the Bible that just completely dumbfounded me. And I didn't really understand the depths of this. And most Christians have no idea this right here. There's a passage in the Bible where Jesus is out with the disciples and they're out in the water. And Jesus is knocked out asleep. And a storm came. And the winds are blowing, the waves are crashing, and everybody on the boat tripping. Jesus' disciples are tripping. They're scared. And they go running to Jesus, waking Jesus up, talking about, man, Master, how can you sleep? Get up unless we're all going to die. And I thought that was like, okay, man, it was just about their faith. They just didn't have faith. And that's how Christians teach that story. Oh, you don't have faith, and that's why the winds are blowing. You don't have faith, and that's why the waves are crashing. You don't have faith, that's why you have fear of drowning and dying out here in the sea. And yet that story is so much deeper, so much deeper. And you have all these people running around talking about they're woke. You have all these people running around talking about they got Christ consciousness. And what God had to show me Christ consciousness was the fact that it didn't matter what was going on. Jesus was still at peace. It didn't matter about the circumstances. Jesus was at peace. You got to catch this because he knew who he was, because he knew the power that he had. The disciples had no fucking clue that they had the power to shut down the storm. The disciples had no fucking clue that they had the power to change the wind. You guys hear me talk about the alchemists all the time. It's another book you got to read, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Here's Jesus resting, just in la la land, just gone, completely oblivious to what was going on around him. And everybody else that's focused on the external world, everybody else that's focused on the 3D dimension, everybody else that's focused on their circumstances is full of fear. Everybody else is focused on their circumstances and what's going on around them, their environment. It's scared. And the trip is here in America right now, there's so much going on and so many people concerned about, man, are we going to war? And is the dollar collapsing? And all this other stupid shit. You know what I mean? And we get so caught up in our fear. We get so caught up in our quote unquote, we can't control what's happening. We're powerless. And what Jesus was teaching us, man, fuck your circumstances. You got to learn to control your fucking mind. Fuck what's going on around you. Stop getting fixated on that shit and learn to go inward. Learn to value your peace and your joy and your happiness. See, we ain't got no joy. We ain't got no peace. We ain't got no happiness because we're so fixated on all the 3D shit. We're so fixated on everything going on around us. Oh, I'm lonely. Oh, I ain't got a man. Oh, I ain't got a woman. Oh, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no good health. You're not going to change shit in your life until you change the way you fucking think. This is real shit right here. Until you take control over your mind, until you learn how to control your thoughts, you're not going to change a damn thing about your life. You're not going to change your financial status. You're not going to change your physical health. You're not going to change your emotional health. You're not going to change anything about your life until you change this. So here's the trick. Whether you intentionally manifest bad shit or not, whether that's on your conscious mind or not, you're manifesting. You have manifested the life that you're living. Whether you're full of fear, whether you're full of drama, chaos, whether your finances are fucked up, none of that shit, man. You've manifested all of that bullshit in your life. And we don't want to accept that. We don't want to believe that. We want to just think that we could just manifest good shit. I'm going to manifest the love of my life. I'm going to manifest $1 million. I'm going to manifest a job. I'm going to manifest a car. I'm going to manifest an apartment. We think we only have the ability to manifest the good shit in our life. When the reality is we've been manifesting all along. The more you think about this negative, toxic ass shit, the more you manifest it. The more you think about being lonely, the more you manifest it. What's up with you, man? I'm Rick. The more you get fixated on your bad health, the more you manifest bad health. Phil, what's up with you? We manifest everything we go through in life. We manifest our circumstances because we don't believe that we're lovable. We'll meet different people that will abandon us, that will break our hearts, that will ghost us, that will cheat on us, that'll do everything in their power to show us that we're not lovable. And see, here's the trick. Again, it don't matter what your intentions are. If you think about, oh, people tell you, man, just think about money, just think about money, and you manifest money. No, that's not how that happens. That's not how that works. Because the reality, yeah, you're thinking about money, but the reality is you're thinking about the fact that you ain't got money. You're really thinking about the fact that you ain't got enough money. You're thinking about the fact that you need money. And so what happens? You manifest a life of being in need of more money. You manifest a life of not having enough money. You think about, oh man, I ain't got no peace. I ain't got no joy. I'm just going to manifest peace. I'm going to manifest joy. No, the fuck you're not. What's up with you, Paul? You're not going to manifest peace. You're not going to manifest joy. You could sit there and sing kumbaya. You could sit there, you could do that shit 23 hours out of the day, and you're not going to change a motherfucking thing about your life. Because in order to change your life, you have to change your perspective of what you think. The power of your thoughts. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Say it again. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What is that saying? What you really think, that's what you really are. You could sit here and talk about, and I see all these young people, man, put on TikTok and all this other crazy shit, and they're out here talking about, man, I think I deserve this. I think I got this coming. I think that I'm gonna get this guy makes 6 figures, and this guy's gonna love me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And the reality is, they're not manifesting that shit. You're not gonna manifest a man in your life that makes 6 figures just by dressing like a fucking hoe, by getting your titties done and your ass done and wearing these fucking crazy ass fucking eyelashes and all this stupid ass shit. You're not manifesting a man in your life that makes 6 figures just because you dress a certain way, just because you look a certain way. The reality is you don't believe that you deserve a man like that. That's why you had to get your ass done. That's why you had to get them fake lips. That's why you had to get your titties enhanced. That's why you wear them stupid ass eyelashes. Because you think that's the only way you're gonna get them in. We're going there today. And this is gonna be rough on our fucking ignorance. And it's supposed to be. Because we have to grow the fuck up emotionally. We have to understand. You play silly ass games, you get silly ass prizes. And the reality, we've been playing life all fucking wrong. We've been not even living, we've been existing, thinking that we've been living. See, how do you change your thoughts? See, nobody wants to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that because that requires fucking work. That requires you being fucking real and authentic. That requires you being fucking completely honest, brutally honest with yourself and dealing with your bullshit that affects the negative shit that you have in life. That's what keeps you from all the things that you want in life. I posted up something on social media on YouTube or not, yeah, on YouTube earlier. I have a plant right here, and I have a bunch of different mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I keep saying I'm gonna do a video on mushrooms, but I bought these little glow in the dark mushrooms, fake mushrooms, and I put them in a lot of my plants. I like when I turn off the lights and they glow up. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but I like that shit. And so I want mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I love what mushrooms represent. And I looked down earlier and I was like, well, dang, I'm growing. I've never grew mushrooms before. I never knew that you could grow mushrooms before. You know what I mean? But I've never had mushrooms grow on my plants before, ever. So I got all these mushrooms around my place. Put all these little fake mushrooms in my plants. And looking around, it's like, dang, I got mushrooms growing. Real mushrooms. I now have real mushrooms growing in the plants where I put the fake ones at. The power of manifesting. The power of manifesting. The life that I live now. I didn't just happen upon this life. The peace and the joy and the happiness and the love that I have now. I didn't just walk into this shit. I didn't just wake up one day and bam, it was like this. I've gone through chaos and turmoil and drama and bullshit for fucking years. I've read books. I've meditated. I've cried myself to sleep at night because I wanted my life to change. Because I was sick and tired of living a mediocre life. I was sick and tired of living beneath my means. I was sick and tired of not having enough. I was sick and tired of not having a nice life, a good life. And what God had to show me is like, okay, Elijah, you want that? Okay, you can have that, but are you willing to do the work to get that? Are you willing to put in the work, the emotional work, to have those things that you want? See, we'll go out and we'll work hard. We'll work 5 days a week. We'll work 60, 70 hours a week if we have to get money. But we still ain't got no fucking peace. Still ain't got no fucking joy. Still ain't fucking happy. Still ain't got no fucking love. We're still fucking lonely. We're still fucking depressed. We're still fucking miserable. We still ain't got enough. And we're putting all this fucking work in because it's not by working externally. You could do all the work you want to externally, but until you change your fucking mind, ain't shit gonna happen externally. Everything starts with your fucking thought process. Everything starts with your thoughts. Yeah, I love working out. I would see people at the gym. obese, way out of shape. And I'm not knocking that, but you're not gonna go to the gym and change your physical body until you first change your mind. You got to catch that. You got to change your thoughts first and foremost. It's like going out to a restaurant and seeing somebody order a big ass steak, some mashed potatoes, some gravy, some ice cream, and then turn around and getting a fucking diet coke. Why the fuck are you getting a diet soda? What the fuck are you really watching? You really ain't worried about your fucking calories. Not eating all this shit. You got to change your mind. But see, we don't want to acknowledge that we've been thinking wrong. We don't want to acknowledge the fact that we're fucking toxic. We don't want to acknowledge that, man, we've been living wrong all this time. We don't want to acknowledge that we've been thinking wrong all this time. We want to just sit back and say, well, man, I prayed to God and I talked to God and I'm just waiting for God to bring it into my life. God ain't bringing shit into your fucking life until you fucking change your way of thinking. See, here's the trick. You could pray for love. You could pray for the queen. You could pray for the king. You could pray for your finances. You could pray for all that stuff you want, all that external shit you want to. And what God will do, the universe will do, they'll give you that shit. Not because you manifested it. They'll give you that shit just to fucking show you that you can't keep that shit. They'll give you all that shit you praise for just to show you that that shit's gonna fall apart. That shit's gonna fucking crumble. You pray for all this shit because you think this is the answer. You think this is it. You think this is where your peace lies. You think this is where your blessings at. You get that woman, you get that man, and you'll still be frustrated and miserable. And you'll end up feeling less loved, less valued, l- more powerless, more hopeless than you were before you got them. You'll get that job, you'll get the pay raise, you'll get the promotion, and all that other shit. And you're still frustrated financially. You're still in fucking debt. And now that you got all this shit, you end up in more fucking debt. And so now you got to work harder just to pay for the shit you got. You got a job, the job of your dreams. And now you're fucking depressed. Now you're fucking miserable having to get up and go to fucking work because work wasn't the fucking answer. It's your thoughts. It's always been your thoughts, but you don't want to acknowledge that. You blame your toxic ass boss. You blame that raggedy ass coworker who's jealous of you, and who's a fucking hater, who's a gossip, and all this other shit. You have all this shit to blame everybody else, but you'll never sit back and take responsibility and accountability for your thoughts. And the reality is, you manifested this bullshit. You created this fucking toxic ass life. You created this crazy, chaotic fucking life you're living, but you don't want to own that. You don't want to believe that. And so then we give up on love because love's not, there's no fucking love. No man is going to be faithful. No woman is going to be appreciative and all this other stupid ass shit. No, that's not the fucking answer. That's not fucking reality. The reality is your fucking thought process is fucked up. It's fucked up. It's twisted. And we got to grow up emotionally and understand this. We sit back and we look at all these people and it's like, man, they got this and they got that. They got this. Man, God's blessed them and God's favored them, da da da. And I ain't got this, I ain't got that. And man, my life is cursed and da 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 da. And none of that shit's fucking real. But because you believe it to be real, then it's fucking real in your fucking reality. But it's not real to God. It's not real to the universe. That's just your fucked up, twisted belief system. And so you believe that everybody that got money is happy. Everybody that got money, man, look at how easy they got life and they're so this and that. And yet you don't even fucking understand there's a whole lot of motherfuckers that are rich, that are wealthy beyond their wildest dreams, and they're just as miserable as you are. They're just as lonely and frustrated as you are. In this book, he says something about you can be rich and cursed. You can be poor and blessed. But see, we look at life totally different. We look at the rich people, man, they're so blessed. We look at people with the relationship, man, they're blessed. Not even understanding that these motherfuckers hate each other. They post all these pictures, but behind closed doors, they're ready to have a fucking World War III. Behind closed doors, they're at each other's fucking throat. They can't stand each other. They're cheating on each other. They're lying on each other. But we look at them and, oh, they're so blessed. And, oh, they're so lucky. Oh, they're so fortunate. We got to grow the fuck up. We got to grow up. There's a movie that I love, and I can't believe that they allowed this movie to come out or they put this movie out. And I don't think a lot of us really caught it, those of us that saw the movie. The movie's called The Shack. Powerful movie. I believe it's on YouTube. If it's not, you can find it on, yes, I know it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube for free. I believe it's also on Netflix or Prime or something like that. But The Shack, there's a scene in the movie where the man, he's out in his boat, his little rowboat. He's out on the lake and everything is nice and calm. And he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he just closes his eyes and he's just taking in the sun. And then all of a sudden, the boat starts rocking. The waves start coming, and the dude starts panicking. The wood boat cracks open. The water turns to black like an oil, and it's starting to come in the boat. And this dude is thinking, man, I'm gonna drown out here. I'm gonna die. I'm out here in the middle of the fucking lake and da 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 da. And Jesus, you took me out, or you brought me out, or you told me to come out here, da da da. And you hear Jesus in the background, Mac. That's the dude's name, Mac. That's not real. Mac, Mac, Mac. He's calling the guy, trying to get the guy's attention. And God is calling you. Source Universe is calling you by your name. That's not true. That's not real. I know that's what you think. I know that's how you feel, but it's not real. It's not real. I don't give a damn how you feel. It's not real. I don't give a damn how you think. It's not real. Matt comes to him and he like calms his mind. It's like, all right, it's not real. He lets that thought go. And as soon as he lets that thought go, the waves calm. The wind stops. The boat's not sinking anymore. The water turns clear again. And he realizes, damn, I've been blown around in this water, not because of the waves, not because of a storm, because my fucking thoughts. My thoughts make me think that my environment was against me. My thoughts make me think that I was going to die out here. My thoughts make me feel that I was powerless. My thoughts make me feel this kind of way. But once I got control over my thoughts, I realized it was all a fucking illusion. It wasn't fucking real. And so many of us need to hear this, especially when it comes to love and self hatred, not feeling like you're good enough, not feeling like you're lovable. Nobody's gonna want me. Every guy's always broke my heart. Every guy's always lied to me. Every woman's cheated on me. Every woman's abandoned me. Every woman betrayed me. And all this stupid shit. Money's evil. Money's not fucking evil. People are fucking evil and how they use money. It ain't the money that's fucking evil. We got to grow the fuck up. We gotta grow up. I hear so many people tell me, "Oh, as a man of God, you shouldn't be wearing crystals. As a man of God, you shouldn't." Da, da, da." It's like, shut the fuck up with your stupid shit. That's your bullshit. Crystals are not fucking evil. Crystals are not fucking satanic. How the fuck can crystals be evil if God made them? Oh wait, I got all fucking day for this. If God made everything, then how the fuck can the crystals be evil? What the fuck has crystals done all by themselves? They've been around for millions and billions of fucking years. What have crystals done to tarnish man? What have crystals done to ruin man? What has crystals done to ruin the planet? Not a damn thing. And they've been around longer than mankind. We've got to grow the fuck up. It's not the things. The power is not in the things. The power is in you. It's always been in you. But we've been so dumbed down. We've been programmed to believe that we're powerless. We've been programmed to believe that we can't change shit. We've been programmed to believe that the problem is bigger than us. And they taught us this shit to keep us stuck in the fucking matrix. They taught us this stupid, ignorant ass shit to keep us fucking programmed, to keep us fucking dumbed down, to keep us from understanding who the fuck we are and the power we have. See, because when you understand who the fuck you are, when you understand the fucking power you have, you become a dangerous thing to the fucking system. You become a dangerous thing to fucking to the ignorance of humanity. It's always been the free thinkers that's been a danger to the system. Nobody give a fuck about Christians. Nobody gives a fuck about Christians praying to God. Nobody gives a fuck about any religious group praying to God. Because as long as you praying to something external and you waiting for some shit external to come down and save you and fix your fucking life, ain't shit gonna fucking change for you. So this is that real shit. That shit people don't want to talk about. See, when you understand who the fuck you are, You understand the power you have. You don't need anybody else's fucking permission to be who you came here to be. When you understand who the fuck you are and you walking in that power and authority, you don't need anybody else's acceptance or their fucking approval. You don't need their fucking validation. You don't give a fuck about what they think about you. You got to grow the fuck up. It's a hard thing to do. And when I say grow the fuck up, I'm not talking about in age. I'm talking about grow the fuck up in your emotional maturity. Grow the fuck up emotionally and learn to take control over your fucking mind. Learn to take control over your fucking thoughts. See, here's the trick. Different people tell me all the time, man, I'm trying to learn to control my thoughts. How are you doing that? How are you taking control over your thoughts? Because the reality is, you can't control what thoughts come to you. Not at all. And see, what we do is a thought will pop in our head, and we'll sit there and try to push the thought out of our head. And as long as you're fighting against that thought, you're thinking about that thought. You're manifesting that thought. You're giving that thought more fucking power. That's not your intention, but that's what you're doing. Just like when you think about money or love or a relationship. The more you think about it, subconsciously, you're really fixated on the fact that it's not here. Subconsciously, you're dwelling on the fact that I don't have it. And so what happens? You give that thought power. You give that thought power. Real shit. Something has always intrigued me. God help us. When you look at the devil in the Bible, in Genesis, the devil appears as a serpent. What's up with you unscripted? In Genesis, the devil appears as a serpent. In the beginning of the book, in the beginning of the Bible, he's this little serpent. At the end of the Bible, he's no longer a serpent. He's a dragon, 10-headed monster. And I often thought about that. It's like, how did the devil go from being this little snake to being this huge fucking dragon? What the fuck happened? I'm gonna tell you. There's a cartoon that one of my sons used to love. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. The first one. And in this cartoon, this movie, all these monsters would come to these kids at night. They would come out of their closets and they would scare the kids. And the kids' fear became energy for the monsters. And the monsters harvested all of the fear from all the kids. And they took that fear, that energy, man, and it ran their whole fucking community. It ran their cars, everything. Everything that they needed came from the fear of those little kids. You got to catch this. You got to catch this. I'm like, okay, man, that's kind of deep. God has shown me, Elijah, that's the same thing with humanity. That's the same thing with you guys, that's quote unquote adults. Your negative thoughts, your negative thoughts is put out into the universe through fear, through hatred, through jealousy, and all these other low vibrating frequencies. Your negative thoughts is put out into the universe and it's magnified. You could feel the energy. Prove it to you. How many of you have ever been to a professional football game or a baseball game or an NBA game? And it's true because years ago I took my wife's father, who's a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, took him to go see the 49ers and the Cowboys playing. And at the stadium, and I used to always go to the Raider games with my kids. But this particular time I was focused on the energy. And we're at the stadium and 49ers score, and you could just feel the energy in the entire stadium. You could feel everybody cheering and just going on, and everybody been on the one accord. You can feel the energy of everybody's excitement. Real shit. In the Bible, it talks about the story of the Tower of Babel. Man had built this tower. And they're like, man, we're going up to heaven. We're going to get to heaven. So all the people came and they started building this tower up into heaven. And they were getting up there. And God was like, nah, 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 nah. These motherfuckers are wilding out. And it's not that they were doing something wrong. What the Bible says that God said, no, look at this. When people get on one accord, catch this. When their energy comes together, they're on the same vibration. They're on one accord. They can accomplish anything. So we got to fuck them up. We got to give them different language to confuse them, to stop them from working together. Otherwise, whatever they set their minds to, they're going to be able to accomplish. The power of thought. The power of thought. God talked about it in the Bible. He talked about how powerful we are in the Bible. And when the war hits, we miss that part. We don't understand. And here's the truth. We could build ships, spaceships, to go into outer space. We could build spaceships and satellites that orbits this planet. We can build submarines. We can build ships that goes to the depths of the oceans. We can build equipment for us, the mask and tanks to put on us to help us breathe underwater. We could go in and do open heart surgery. We could cut open the brain and dissect the brain and see where the brain is messed up at. We have the ability to do all these things. And yet, for some reason, we don't have the ability to change our fucking life. Make that shit make sense. We have the ability to build telescopes, to see galaxies and stars millions and millions and millions of miles away. But we don't understand how to go into our own thought process to understand that our thoughts are fucking us up. How the fuck is that possible? How is it we have the ability, the intellect to create all these things? I'm on a cell phone talking to people all over the country. I make a video and people in Australia and Europe and Africa see the video. I'm able to have a conversation with somebody through a telephone, a video chat with somebody in South Africa, somebody in England, somebody in Europe, somebody in Australia, thousands of miles away. And we can see each other and talk to each other in real fucking time. I could type up a text and boom, it gets to Australia. I could type up a text and boom, it's in China. Just like that. Just like that. I can send an email to anybody in the fucking world and they get it like that. We have the ability to understand technology like that, but we don't have the ability to change our life. We don't have the ability to control our thoughts. And the sad reality, it's not that we don't have the ability to, it's that we feel powerless. We feel powerless to be able to do that. And yet I could go to CashApp or Zelle or PayPal or Chime and send somebody all the way across the world some money instantly. Catch that. I have the ability to get on my phone, and I did it earlier. I ordered some Thai food. I have the ability. I don't even have to leave my fucking house. I pulled up my phone, Uber Eats. I want this Thai food. I want this pad Thai. I want these spicy ramen, these spicy noodles, and da da da. And I want it extra spicy. And I want chicken flavor. Da da. I could do all this shit It'll tell me how much it is. Boom, submit. And in less than an hour, in less than 30 minutes from the time I hit the send button, I'm getting a phone call. My food's downstairs. They didn't cook the food downstairs. The restaurant is about a 20-minute walk from me. In less than 30 minutes from the time I hit send, the guy was downstairs with my food. The cash went, my food came. Technology. But I don't have the ability to fix this. I don't have the ability to understand this. This is what they want us believing. This is how they want us programmed. We can watch an event, the Olympics. It don't matter what time the Olympics are on, doesn't matter what country the Olympics are in. Everybody all over the globe has the ability to watch the Olympics lifetime. You can watch the Olympics live. It don't matter where you're at. It don't matter what nationality you are. It don't matter what language you speak. You have the ability to watch the Olympics live. We could do all these amazing things. We could watch on news live the flood damage in Texas. There could be a hurricane in Japan and we can watch it live. We can predict a hurricane or tornado. We can predict the flood. We can predict all this shit, but we can't fix this. We have the ability to have electricity all over the world where all I got to do is hit a light switch and the lights come on, but I don't have the ability to sit here and get control of my fucking thoughts. We got to grow the fuck up. As a man thinketh, so is he. You are what you think. See, so many people tell me that, man, you don't look like you're your age. Man, are you vegan? Are you Episcopalian? Or what is it that you do? What's your diet? It's like, man, I eat what the fuck I want to eat. I'm not no fucking vegetarian. I'm not no fucking vegan. And Tweets, they don't do what you do. But I'm not that shit. You know what I mean? I'll drink alcohol from time to time. I'll eat some fucking potato chips from time to time. I'll eat some fucking candy from time to time. I'll fuck up a bag of popcorn with some hot sauce on it. And we have the audacity that you are what you eat. will say that and will believe that shit. And many of us will change our fucking diet. Oh, I can't eat meat because they said meat is not good for you and it takes it too long to process it and all this other stupid ignorant ass shit. We'll change our diet because these motherfuckers told us you can't do this and this is bad for you. And yet we'll continue to watch that raggedy ass, toxic ass fucking news shit. We'll continue to entertain all that negativity. We'll continue to entertain all that garbage soap operas and drama of fucking reality shows. Dating Housewives of Atlanta, whatever the bullshit is called. Housewives of Atlanta, whatever they fucking shows are. We'll watch all that raggedy ass shit. All that hoish, stinky shit. And we'll consume. Oh, I can't miss an episode, and I gotta watch this, and I gotta get caught up on this, and I gotta, and we'll watch all of this shit, and we'll take all of this shit into our minds. But you worried about what the fuck you eat? I'm not saying your diet's not important. I'm not saying diet's not important. No, you shouldn't be eating a fucking tub of ice cream before you go to bed. No, you shouldn't be eating a fucking whole thing of fucking carrot cake and cheesecake before you go to fucking bed. I'm not saying that. To be in balance. Don't allow the bullshit that they spew to you to control you anymore. Take back the fucking power of your life. Don't be so fixated on, oh, I gotta eat like a Buddhist. Oh, I gotta eat like a Taoist. Oh, my body's a temple, so I can't consume. But you're taking in all this negative shit. You're entertaining fucking gossip. You're listening to the bullshit they're spewing to you on the fucking news. You're watching all this and listening to all this toxic ass fucking music. You're consumed with who's dating who and who's married to who and who had whose baby and who's going to prison and all this other stupid ass shit. All this low vibrating shit. You're entertaining the divisiveness of politics. Oh, the Democrats are running the country and they're letting in all these immigrants and Donald Trump's a racist and Donald Trump wants to deport all Mexicans and all this stupid shit. We get so caught up into the fucking divisiveness of politics. The hatred, the negativity, the low vibrating bullshit. But then we want to sit there and be righteous and pious when it comes to our fucking diet. We got to grow the fuck up. We got to grow the fuck up emotionally. We got to understand that, man, we have the power. We've always had the power. But we've been so programmed, man, that we got to go look to other people for fucking power. We got to go put our faith in the fucking politicians. We got to put our faith in the fucking Congress. We got to put our faith in the assemblymen. We got to put our faith in the president. And this, man, fuck all of them motherfuckers. I don't give two fucks about none of them. Not narrow one of them motherfuckers. I can tell you who's in the fucking Senate. I can tell you who's in the fucking House. I can tell you who's a fucking assembly person. I can't tell you shit about none of the fucking politicians at all. The only person I know of is Donald Trump. I didn't vote for him. I don't give a fuck about him either. We got to grow the fuck up. We got all this faith and hope in everybody else but us. All these black people so excited. Barack Obama was running for president. All these people, life's gonna change and it's gonna get better for us as Americans, as African Americans or blacks, whatever the fuck they call themselves now. When Barack Obama becomes president, Barack Obama was president for 8 fucking years and ain't shit changed. But everybody had their hope and faith in Barack Obama. And they were still fucking miserable and depressed, still fucking financially ruined, still fucking emotionally immature, still fucking spiritually immature. And if the truth be told, the great majority of people, life has not gotten better because Barack Obama was president. Truth be told, the great majority of people's life who voted for Donald Trump hasn't gotten any better. Our life don't get better because we vote for the right person. Our life only gets better when we take control of our fucking life. And we take control of our fucking life by taking control of our fucking mind, by learning to control our fucking thoughts. Let's go back to controlling our thoughts. Because again, you can't control the thoughts that come to your mind. You can't do it. The more you try to push that thought out of your mind, the more you think about that thought, the more power you give that thought. So, how do you take control of your mind? How do you take control of your thoughts? Because just because a thought comes to you, don't mean that you're fucking evil. Just because a thought comes to you, don't mean that you're a bad person. You got to grow the fuck up. I don't take control over my thoughts by trying to push this thought away. I don't take control over my thoughts by saying, "Oh, that's a bad thought. I don't want to think about that. That's taboo." And no, no, that's bullshit. Grow the fuck up. You take control of your thoughts by saying, "Hold on, wait a minute. I ain't got no control that this thought come to my mind. I'm not gonna give it power. I'm not gonna focus on this thought. I'm gonna choose to focus on this thought. And this thought is high vibration." We got to catch this. We got to understand this. The more you think about that low vibrating shit, the more magnified and the more it becomes in your life until it takes over your life. You grew up poor and you think that, man, the government's against you, white people against you, the system's against you, black women against you, and all this other bullshit. The more you think that negative, toxic ass shit, the more that becomes your fucking reality. The more you think that you ain't shit, you ain't never been shit, you ain't never gonna be shit, the more that becomes your fucking reality. I know women that have 5, 7 kids, 7 fucking kids, and found a man to love her and all 7 of her fucking kids. I know a woman at 5 kids, 5 baby daddies, and found a man that worships her and her 5 kids and treats them as though they're his own. I'm saying it because I know so many women that got 3 kids, 4 kids, 2 kids, and they don't think that they'll ever find a man that's going to love them because of their kids. We've got to grow the fuck up. We've got to learn to take control over our thoughts. Whether you think it's good or whether you think it's bad, you're right. You're right. It's your life. Live it how you want to, but understand that you have options. And so many of us don't believe that we have any more options. So many of us don't believe that, man, we can have the life of our dreams. We can accomplish and do everything that we dreamed of doing. We don't believe that. We believe that we're failure. Our marriages ended in failure because we're a failure. Our business ended in failure because we're a failure. And we get comfortable living that fucking mediocre life. We get complacent with living that mediocre life. And then we become toxic and bitter and resentful that other people have gone on to find that joy and peace and happiness. That other people are living the life of their dreams. That other people are living their best life. And we want to justify and say they were just lucky. They weren't lucky. They put in the fucking work. They put in the fucking work. They put in the work to get rid of that ghetto ass mentality. They put in the work to get rid of that fucking hood mentality. They put in the work to get rid of that low vibrating mentality. They put in the work to get rid of that self hatred. And see, the trip is people see, use me for example, people see me in my place and see, man, he went to Africa and Egypt and he's going to Bali and Singapore and Thailand. He does all this traveling, but they don't see the fucking work that I put in emotionally. They don't see the struggles and the fucking darkness and the chaos and the bullshit that I had to climb up out of to get to a place where I could be able to do these things. They see the here and now. They see the peace and the joy. They see the abundance. And they say, oh, he was just lucky. Oh, he's always had an easy life. Oh, he don't know about the struggle. Nah, you just don't know about the work that I put in to attain the things that I have. And it's not even about attaining the things. See, all that shit comes easy once you change your way of thinking. Once you change your way of thinking, abundance flows naturally. Lack is not natural. I'll say it again. And I know this goes against what we've been taught. Living in lack is fucking unnatural. I was poor. I grew up in the fucking hood on fucking welfare. living a destitute life like that is not fucking natural. And I'm not knocking anybody that's there. I'm telling you, you can change that. You can stay living like that if you want to. The choice is yours. And I got a whole lot of family that continues to live like that. And to each their own. I'm not doing that shit. Living beneath our means is not natural. Living beneath our means is not godly. You don't find lack anywhere in nature at all. Whatever nature needs, nature has an abundance of it. Whatever nature needs, nature gets naturally because we don't understand our fucking power, because we don't understand our fucking thoughts. We accept living beneath our means. We accept and embrace that poor mentality because that's part of the fucking struggle. Us versus them. And it's not about us versus them because a lot of them that got money fucked up emotionally too. Just like those that ain't got money are fucked up emotionally too. And I'm not saying everybody that ain't got money is fucked up, but the great majority of people that live like that ain't fucking emotionally stable, ain't fucking emotionally healthy. We got to grow the fuck up and call a fucking spade a spade. We've got to stop sugarcoating the bullshit. You can have the things of your desires, your heart's desires. Just because you're from the fucking hood don't mean you gotta stay in the fucking hood. Just because you're from a broken and fucked up family don't mean you gotta stay like that. You stay like that because you've chosen to stay like that. Whether you've chosen to stay like that consciously or subconsciously, it don't matter. You chose to stay like that. You choose to live beneath your means. You choose to live in lack. You choose to live in fear. You choose to live with anger and hatred and jealousy and bitterness and all that other shit. You choose that shit. Nobody forces that on you. You choose that. At some point, we got to grow the fuck up and say, hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. If one person from the fucking hood made it out the fucking hood and he didn't play fucking football, he didn't play baseball, he didn't run track, he didn't play basketball, but he used his fucking mind and he made it out the fucking hood, then that means I could do it too. I don't have to play sports to make it out the fucking hood. I don't have to play sports to be fucking successful. I ain't got to run around singing and tap dancing and all this other bullshit to make it out the fucking hood. I ain't got to kiss nobody's fucking ass to make it out the fucking hood. I ain't got to fucking quote unquote sell my fucking soul to make it out the fucking hood. I just gotta change the way I fucking think. We go to school, go to college, but they never teach us how to think. They never teach us how to think for ourselves. They tell us what to think. They tell us what to memorize, but they don't teach us how to think for ourselves. That blows me away. That we would pay for a fucking education system to get a fucking certificate, to get a fucking diploma. And we'll go in debt spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for this fucking diploma and still walk away not knowing who the fuck we are, still not knowing the fucking power we possess, still not knowing how to fucking think for ourselves or how to think in a healthy manner. But we're so proud of our fucking diploma. We're so proud of our fucking education. I'm doctor da 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 da, and I still don't know who the fuck I am. I'm doctor da da da. I got three doctorate degrees and da 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 da, and I got an honorary doctor degree, and we got all this stupid shit to justify who we are, to say who we are, but we still don't know who the fuck we are. We still don't know the fucking power we have. And so we try to climb corporate America. We try to climb the ladder to get supervisor, to get director and manager and all these other titles because that makes me feel like I'm somebody, like I'm accomplished, and still don't know who the fuck we are. Still don't understand the power we possess. Real shit. I know a lot of people that are on YouTube that have said, man, if you go to a job, if you have a 9 to 5, you're part of the problem. You're a fucking slave and all this other stupid ass shit because they're fucking broke. You know what I mean? And they're living off their fucking YouTube money or however fucking hustle they got going on. You know what I mean? And again, to each their own. Everybody's entitled to think what the fuck they want to think. Everybody's entitled to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. I ain't mad at you. Do what you do. But even these people, when you sit back and you really look at them, and you talk to them, and you start asking them the real difficult questions, you start really challenging the shit that they say. The truth is, they're scared. The truth is, they don't know who the fuck they are. They don't know the fucking power they possess. They're not walking in their true authority, but they're super spiritual. They got all the tarot cards, all the oracle cards, and all this other shit, and still don't know who the fuck they are. But because man, I can make some money doing this shit on YouTube. I can make some money doing this shit on TikTok and Instagram, all this other shit. This is another fucking hustle. On this platform, man, I don't really make no fucking money from YouTube. I don't give a fuck about the money from YouTube. I got a job. I'm not dependent on this fucking YouTube shit. I'm not knocking it. I appreciate it because it gives me the opportunity to connect with and help people all over the fucking world. But I'm not dependent on it to do what the fuck I want to do, to live how I want to live. We got to understand this. Most of us have no fucking clue what it means to be free. We have no fucking clue. So many of us think that being free means, man, I ain't got to be responsible for shit. I ain't got to punch in nowhere. I ain't got to be held accountable. I could do what the fuck I want when I want to, how I want to. Okay. And that's why you live a miserable life. Because the truth is, every one of us has responsibilities. Every one of us are supposed to have responsibilities. Every one of us is supposed to be held accountable. I'm accountable to the people that I talk to. I'm accountable to the people that I come across. I'm accountable to the people who I sow into their lives. I'm accountable for the content that I put out there. I'm responsible for the content that I put out there. And I don't take that lightly. We got to grow the fuck up. And it's going to take work. It's going to take work. There are no easy answers. There's no fucking quick fix. There are no fucking shortcuts to life. We got to grow up and understand this. You got to put in the motherfucking work. Go back to thoughts. Just because a thought comes to your mind, don't mean that you have to dwell on it. A thought comes to my mind. I don't want to think about this shit. I'm not thinking about this stupid ass shit. And I'll shift my focus to something else that's high vibrating. I'll shift my thoughts to something that I want to accomplish, something meaningful. You gotta understand this. I'm human just like everybody else. As a man, I see a beautiful young lady and I'm like, oh damn, she's cute. Oh damn, she got a nice body. But what I'm not gonna do anymore, now that I've grown the fuck up, because the old me, I'd be like, ooh shit. Damn, look at the ass on her. Damn, look at the motherfucking titties. Damn, look at that fucking camel toe. Yeah, you know what I mean? And my mind would have went crazy. And I'd have been thinking about all the shit I could have done with her. But all the fun I'm gonna have with her. Because I didn't know how to control my thoughts. I let my thoughts control me. I let my thoughts control my actions. Because the thought came into my, I saw the image and the thought came, oh, that's fucking nice. Now I'm acting upon that thought. Now I'm pushing upon her like, what's up, baby? Da, 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 man, da, 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 do, do, da, da, da. And next thing you know, we're fucking. Because I allowed my thoughts to control me. That's when I was immature. That's when I didn't know any fucking better. Now that I've learned a little bit, See a nice looking young lady, nice body. Like, okay, that's what's up. I'm gone. My mind is on something else. I shift my focus. Why? Because I control my thoughts. I don't let my thoughts control me. That's what it means to be a fucking slave. When you're a slave to your fucking thoughts, when you have no control of the things you think about, when you can't control your own self hatred, when you can't control your sexual desires, when you can't control those inadequate feelings about yourself, when you can't control those fears, and they start off small as a little thought, and before long, they're like the devil, come in small as a little snake, and after a while, it's this big ass fucking dragon. It started out as a little fear. Now I'm afraid to go anywhere. I don't trust people. I don't want to be out in public. I don't want to do this, all this negative shit because of fucking fear. It started out as a little thought. Now fear controls my life. We got to grow up emotionally. We got to grow up. You have all the fucking power. You just got to understand that. You got to believe that. And the trip is different things are going to happen in life to test you. You say you got beyond this fear. You say you got beyond this anxiety. You say you got beyond this depression. You say you got beyond this self-hatred and these insecurities and da da da. Different things are to come in life to test you, to show you that you have not gotten beyond that shit. That's all triggers are. Different things gonna happen in life to come show you, oh yeah, you did conquer this. Look at you. In the past, you would have reacted like this. In the past, you would have did that. In the past, you would have slapped the dog shit out of him. In the past, you would have beat his fucking ass. In the past, you would have. Now that you've healed and you've grown up in this area, you don't get caught up on this bullshit. You're no longer triggered by this. Here, this is where you need to work on it. I'm gonna show you this right here. This is the area of your life that you need to focus on. And after a while, I'll focus on that and I'll work on that. And here comes a test. And I'll either pass the test or I'll flunk the test. And either way is good. If I flunk the test, it's like, okay, man, I didn't pass it. Man, okay, I got more work to do in that area. And I'll continue to work on that area. If I pass the test, great. Man, I ain't got to deal with that shit no more. But I'm mindful of the shit so that I don't get fucking arrogant and cocky. So I stay humble because I remember what it was like to be a slave to this. So I stay mindful. I stay humble. I don't start thinking I'm all that and I'm da 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 because I got past this test. We got to catch that. We got to understand that. I remember somebody put something here about being celibate for 3 years or something. 90s, um, 95, 96. It's 26 years old. And the longest I'd ever been celibate was I went 3 months, right? And I was so proud of myself, just like, man, whoo, 3 months is a long ass fucking time for me. I never went a week. Real shit. Six, 3 months in, I'm feeling myself like, man, I got this shit licked. Da, 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 da. Young lady I used to know, I used to fuck with, she came in and she was looking good, and I was at a low state in my life, but I still felt good. You know what I mean? And next thing I know, we fucking. And I woke up the next morning, fuck, damn, fucking failed. You know what I mean? I fucking failed the fucking test. And it's like with this young lady, man, we had such a connection, such a vibe. Eh, We couldn't be around each other. Every time we was around each other, man, we was trying to break each other's back. And I had to grow up and understand, damn, 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 okay. I thought I had this shit licked. I thought I had this sexual shit under control. And the reality, she popped back in and I gave it up like a first grader. You know what I mean? There was no fucking hesitation. Just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's fucking simp. You know what I mean? I mean, she was bad, but that was no fucking excuse. God was showing me, it's like, you thought you had this shit under control. You thought you had this shit licked. You was walking around patting yourself on the back, feeling all like you was all that. And the reality is, you weren't being tested. You weren't being tempted. So it's easy for you to think that you passed the test when you're not being tempted. Soon as I brought the test to you, you caved. You melted like a butter with a hot knife. You folded. I'm not mad at you. I'm just showing you still need to work on this. I'm just showing you still need to deal with this shit. There's still work to be done. So don't get all pumped up and think you all that. Don't start feeling yourself thinking you all that. Because I'll bring a test your way to show you that you ain't all that yet. I'll bring a test your way and you'll fold like a fucking knife in fucking heat because you still got work to do. We got to grow up. And it's not a bad thing not passing a test, but because we feel so insignificant, we feel so powerless and so stupid. You know what I mean? We feel like we're so fucking inadequate that when we flunk a test or we fail a test, we start tearing ourselves up, calling ourselves stupid and dumb. And how could you do this? Why did you fall? How did you fail? And all that. See, everything they said about you, you're stupid, you and mouth, they said, da, 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 and you did all that for nothing. And da, 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 da. Man, that's all our fucking inadequacies. That's all those fucking negative thoughts trying to justify why you shouldn't be doing what you should be doing to get you to give up, to get you to stop. And the great majority of us will fold, will give up. See, I knew that wasn't worth it. I knew love wasn't real. I knew love wasn't right. I knew I shouldn't wasting my time trying to be fucking celibate. I knew I shouldn't be wasting my time. I wasted all that fucking time trying to work on me and da 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 da. And I'm still the same fucking way. I'm still fucking horny. I still like eating kitty cat. I still like da 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 and da 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 and all this other stupid toxic shit. We got to grow up. We got to go, and it's not going to happen overnight. And that's why the great majority of us won't do it. Because the truth is, we're emotionally lazy. We're spiritually lazy. We're lazy as fuck when it comes to controlling our emotions, when it comes to controlling our thoughts, because we've never really put in work in that area before. And so we really don't know how. We didn't even know that that's a thing. Just because this thought comes, I don't have to dwell on that. I don't have to consume that. I don't have to entertain that thought. I could pick and choose what I really want to think about. I could really pick and choose what I want to focus on. Yeah, you can. Man, hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, or to even challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow up, family. Man, and if you haven't gotten this book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, you got to get your hands on this book. Again, it's 33 fucking pages long. That's it. You can get it at a library, any library, and you can see, man, you know what I mean? You can read it on YouTube. I mean, you can listen to it on YouTube. There's no excuse. You got to get this book. You got to get your hands on this book. As a Man Thinketh. He wrote this book in 1903, 122 years ago. And this book will change your fucking life. Everything he wrote over 100 years ago is relevant to today. That's the amazing thing. That's the power of fucking truth. It is what it is. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. Happy healing, family. Peace.